Hello Insomniacs, I'm Dr. Sleepless and welcome back to your next prescription. Today I'm going to dive into the world of cyber terrorism and cover 10 computer viruses that brought the digital world to a standstill, wreaking havoc beyond the cyber world and causing millions, if not billions, in economic damages and rendering governments and corporations disabled. So without further ado, let's dive right in and get started. Clez was discovered in October 2001. It is a computer worm that infected Microsoft Windows systems. Clez spread via email, which would always contain text and propagate by either a HTML tag, which would automatically execute the worm, or via an attachment that the user would have to open. Clez had a distinctive message within the body of the email itself, reading, "I am sorry to do so, but it's helpless to say sorry. I want a good job. I must support my parents. Now you have seen my technical capabilities. How much my yearly salary now? No more than 5,500. What do you think of this fact? Don't call my names. I have no hostility. Can you help me?" Once executed, Clez would send itself to the addressees in the address book of the receiver's computer on Outlook. Clez would exploit a vulnerability in Internet Explorer's Trident layout engine, and being polymorphic, it could change its code, leaving itself undetected, and with every morph, the worse it got. Due to this, Clez damaged 7 million computers, costing approximately 19.8 billion in damages, and the author of Clez is unknown to date. At Clez's height, a Jewish folk music mailing list began receiving an extremely high number of off-topic emails. People would mail the owner of the list, complaining, saying, "You gave me the Clez." The owner believing it was anti-Semitic, as klezmer is a kind of Jewish folk music often referred to as Clez. SoBig was a worm that racked up $30 billion in damage worldwide that was discovered in January 2003. However, indicators found test runs of the SoBig virus as early as August 2002. In May of 2003, another virus was discovered and was named Pala before being recognized as an upgrade of SoBig, and these were consequently called SoBig A and SoBig B. Over the next few months, SoBig C through F were released, with F being the most volatile and widespread. The only antivirus company that didn't agree with the name SoBig was Dr. Web, calling it Reterus instead. SoBig was a worm due to its self-replication, but also a Trojan horse, as it would masquerade as something else that isn't malware. SoBig was the fastest spreading computer worm until MyDoom's release in 2018. SoBig would appear as an email with one of the following subjects you see on the screen now. They are approved, details, my details, thank you, that movie, wiki screensaver, your application, thank you, your details. Within the email it would say, see the attached file, and the attached files are on the screen and as follows: application.pith, details.pith, document 9446.pith, document all, pith, movie 0045, pith, thank you, pith, your details, pith, your document, pith, and wickedscr.scr. Once the attachment had been opened, SoBig would infect the house computer and search for the following file extensions, seen on screen now, to attach to and send on to people in the host address book on Outlook Express. Those files are .dbx, .eml, .hlp, .htm, .html, .mht, .wab, .txt. SoBig F variant would deactivate itself on the 10th of September 2003. In November of the same year, Microsoft would offer a $250,000 bounty for the arrest of the creator of the virus. As of today, the perpetrator hasn't been caught, and SoBig created issues in USA, UK, Asia, and Canada, including grounding Air Canada's fleet and check-in. Nimda is a multi-vector worm that was released exactly a week after the 9/11 attacks. Due to its release date, media speculated a link between Nimda and Al-Qaeda, though this theory was unfounded. Nimda, who got its name from the word admin reversed, would affect both workstations running Windows 95, 98, NT, and 2000, as well as servers running NT and 2000, and was able to run itself without needing to be activated by the user of the system, making Nimda particularly spiteful. Nimda's method of infection were via email, open network shares, browsing compromised websites, exploitation of Internet Information Services, and backdoors left behind by Code Red 2 and other worms, making it easier to spread and left undetectable, making it one of the most dangerous cyber threats to date. Many companies removed their network from the internet to avoid being infected, as companies such as Dell and Microsoft and a security firm called Alternative Computer Technology. Nimda also brought the court system in Miami, Florida to a halt on Halloween of the first year Nimda was released and could only access paper versions of case records and had to go as far as postponing cases where there were none. Nimda also brought the New York Times to a halt for over 36 hours in just 2 days. Nimda caused $531 million in damages and left behind an estimated $2 billion in damages overall. Allegedly, someone is serving time for the creation of Nimda, but I couldn't find anything on that. So if you know, please email me or message me on the links below in the comments and I'll do an update and credit you in the next video. Sasser is a computer worm that invades systems running vulnerable versions of Windows XP and 2000, spreading by exploiting the system through a vulnerable port. Sasser is particularly virulent as it can spread without user intervention. However, it is halted by a correctly configured firewall and/or downloading system updates via Windows Update. The particular hole Sasser exploits was patched just 17 days earlier than its release on the 29th of April 2004. It is believed the author reverse engineered the patch to find a vulnerability which would open millions of vulnerable computers that had not yet been patched. Sasser was named due to the effect it had on infected systems and how it worked by exploiting a buffer overflow component known as LSAS, or Local Security Authority Subsystem Service, on infected machines. Its characteristic traits due to this would be to send the infected system into shutdown due to overload, or in worst cases, the dreaded blue screen of death. On the 7th of May 2004, an 18-year-old German man, Sven Jaschen, who was at the time a student at a technical college, was arrested for writing the Sasser worm. A friend of his tipped off Microsoft as they offered a $250,000 bounty for information about the author, leading to an arrest. However, Sven only received a 21-month suspended sentence as he was a minor when Sasser was written and released on his 18th birthday. On the day of his arrest, the fifth patch, Sasser E, would begin to circulate. Sasser would block all satellite communications of AFP, or Agence France Presse, for hours. Delta also had to cancel several transatlantic flights as Sasser had heavily infected their systems, as well as a Nordic insurance company, Sampo Bank, a Finnish bank. British Coast Guard had their systems disabled for a few hours, and the X-ray department at Lund University Hospital were disabled for several hours, having to redirect emergency X-ray patients to a nearby hospital. Sasser was reported to have cost $18 billion worldwide damage. However, due to the rapid yet low infection rates, a likely total is around $500 million. Melissa was another mass-mailing macro virus which was discovered in late March 1999. Melissa would target Microsoft Word and Office and would severely increase network traffic. An email would be received with the title saying, "Important message from," with the sender's name included, with a body that would read, "Here's the document you asked for, don't show anyone else," with a smiley face. A Word document would be attached to the email containing a list of adult entertainment sites with accompanying logins. Melissa would then spread by attaching itself to the first 50 people in the host address book on Microsoft Outlook and Send. Melissa would only infect computers running Microsoft Word 97 and 2000 and Outlook 97 and 98. Whilst Outlook wasn't needed to receive the virus, it could not spread without it. Not only did Melissa spread on personal computers, but also work computers and work from home. On the 1st of April 1999, David Smith, the creator of Melissa, was arrested in New Jersey due to a tip-off from AOL and a collaborative effect with the FBI and New Jersey State Police and a Swedish computer scientist. On May 1st, 2002, he was sentenced to 20 months in federal prison and fined $5,000. Melissa was named after a sex worker Smith knew. Due to Melissa being able to cause severe internet traffic, major organizations impacted by Melissa include Microsoft, the US Marine Corps, and it is also reported 250 organizations worldwide contacted a Pentagon-financed security service at Carnegie Mellon University about Melissa. Although Melissa was contained within a few days, it took longer to remove, causing financial damages estimated at $1.1 billion. As macroviruses are easy to recreate, Melissa was recreated as several variants including Asylum, Prelissa, and Melissa BG. Melissa BG was identical to the original virus, but contained a fake resume attached as a document and the message body saying, "To Director of Sales / Marketing. Attached is my resume with a list of references contained within. Please feel free to call or email me if you have any further questions regarding my experience. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Sincerely, Janet Simmons," which would then spread the exact same way that Melissa did originally. I Love You, Love Bug, or Love Letter was a virus that was simple yet devastatingly effective and very contagious, making it one of the most widespread viruses in cyber history. Discovered in early May of 2000, written by Onel de Guzman, its original intent was to infect local computers, retrieve passwords, and report them back to Onel, who was a poor college student and believed internet should be a right, not a privilege. One day, out of curiosity, he removed a geographical fence for the virus and it spread worldwide within days. Like other worms of its time, it would propagate in Microsoft Outlook, with a message that contained a bogus love letter, giving it another name of the love letter virus. The email would contain a document with the file name loveletterforyou.txt, which would take advantage of something Windows at the time did, hiding the actual file path of .vbs, which would then, hopefully, in Guzman's favor, take on a receiver's curiosity, being bluffed into believing that it's a text document and it's safe and cannot contain a cyber threat. It would then attach itself to every addressee in the infected computer's Microsoft Outlook address book and send itself to others. Once the system is infected, it would search and replace the file paths shown on screen now, which are JPG, JPEG, VBS, VBE, JS, JSE, CSS, WSH, SCT, DOC, HTA, and MP2. However, MP3 files would be hidden instead of having the file path edited like previous files, also downloading the Baroque Trojan, renaming winbugsfix.exe. There was also rewrites of the virus, which would edit .execution and .com file paths, which would effectively brick the computer system upon restarting. On May 8th, 2000, de Guzman was apprehended by the NBI in the Philippines. However, charges would be dropped as they did not know what the formal charge would be. Cybercrime wasn't recognized as yet in the Philippines. I Love You would change cybercrime laws in the Philippines, making such activities illegal. Most of the damage caused by the worm was removing and isolating it from systems to protect themselves. The Pentagon, CIA, British Parliament, and other large corporations shut down their mail systems, causing issues with communication. Estimated financial damages were around $15 billion worldwide. Code Red was a sophisticated computer worm that was observed on the internet on July 15, 2001, and aptly got its name from Mountain Dew Code Red flavor, as the people who discovered it were drinking that flavor of Mountain Dew at the time. Although the worm was released 2 days before discovery, by the 19th of July, it would have infected 359,000 hosts, spreading worldwide, particularly prevalent in America, Europe, and Asia. Code Red was the first large-scale mixed-threat attack to successfully penetrate enterprise computer networks. Designed to take down Microsoft's IIS web server spreading via a buffer overflow vulnerability that was common, making it easier to spread. Once it had taken hold of a particular corporation's server, their website would display this message: "Welcome to http://www.worm.com hacked by Chinese." For the first 19 days of its release, the worm would spread looking for servers for the vulnerability needed to spread. From day 20 to 27, it would launch a DDoS attack on fixed IPs, including the White House, and on the 28th day, the worm would deactivate itself. To date, the author of the worm is unknown and is believed to have caused $2.4 billion in damages, including the aforementioned White House attack, government and large corporations' internet services, due to its virulency and capability to spread rapidly. Zeus, or Zbot, not to be confused with Game Over Zeus, is a Trojan horse malware that runs on most, if not all, variants of Microsoft Windows. It can be used to carry out malicious and criminal tasks, more often than not to steal banking details and commit financial fraud. Zeus spreads predominantly by drive-by downloads, essentially authorized by the system owner-operator and phishing schemes. Zeus is also used to create CryptoLocker ransomware. First discovered in July 2007, it became widespread in March 2009 and extremely prevalent by June of the same year. Security company Prevex reported almost 100,000 accounts with Bank of America, ABC News, NASA, Cisco, Amazon, and Businessweek had been compromised by Zeus software password phishing. Zeus is also known to be used to trick customers into tech support scams, giving money to scam artists to fix imaginary viruses and computer issues, instructing them to download a command prompt or event viewer and then retrieve their personal information. Zeus being customizable to people purchasing the software for their needs of illegal activity makes it extremely difficult to detect, as it also has stealthing techniques too. People are advised to not click on suspicious links or anything they deem untrustworthy, as antivirus and firewall protection. In high majority of cases, Zeus will remain undetected. In October 2010, more than 100 people in several countries were arrested in a cyber theft ring for stealing up to $70 million by using the above method, taking cuts of the fraudulently gained money and handling the rest to the members of the ring above them. That same year, the creator of Zeus allegedly announced his retirement, selling the source code and the rights to Zeus to his biggest competitor, the creator of the Spy Trojan. However, many experts believed this was a ruse and expected him to return with newer, more nefarious software. Zeus has reportedly accumulated $3 billion in financial damages and is still going to this day, due to its ability to remain undetected and customized for buyers to get what they need out of their scam, as stated earlier. In 2013, the supposed creator of Zeus, Hamza Bendelaj, known as BX1 online, was arrested in Thailand and deported to Atlanta, Georgia, as he was accused of operating another bot similar to Zeus called Spy. He was only deported as the charges were in Georgia, as that's where the server for Spy was located. Wannacry is one of the most infamous ransomware attacks in cybercrime history. The initial outbreak happened from the 12th to the 15th of May 2017, which crippled a majority of Europe, USA, Canada, and China, as well as other countries. The attack began at 7:44 a.m. UTC and was halted by 3:03 p.m. UTC with the registration of a kill switch. However, other computers were affected after the initial infection, but infected systems couldn't be encrypted again, acting as a vaccine to prevent further spreading. The worm propagated via Eternal Blue, an exploit developed by the United States NSA. Eternal Blue was stolen and leaked by a group called the Shadow Brokers a month before the attack. Wannacry is also considered a worm due to how it travels and infects other systems. How it does this is the transport code looks for vulnerable systems and uses Eternal Blue to gain access, then uses double pulsar to install and execute itself, which then encrypts the data on the system. Once installed, the payload displays a message which demands $300 within 3 days or $600 within 7 to remove the encryption, warning the user you not so have enough time. During the attack, it is estimated 230,000 computers in 150 countries have been infected. On screen now is just a few companies worldwide who are infected by the virus. Experts advised against paying the ransom due to no reports of users receiving their data after payment, and would also cause issues in the future for such campaigns. By the 14th of June of the same year after the attack subsided, a combined total of $130,000 had been paid via Bitcoin, which was 51 Bitcoins at the time. The attack started on Friday, May 12, 2017 at 7:44 am and ended just after 3 p.m. on the same day due to a kill switch being discovered. Subsequent infections would continue until the 15th of May, but systems that had activated the kill switch could not be reinfected as it acted as a vaccine. After the attack, investigations began and it was suspected the attack was carried out by the Lazarus Group. The Lazarus Group are an unknown number of people who are a hacking group in North Korea. It is believed the attack was carried out by them on behalf of Kim Jong-un, as he was offended by a portrayal of him, and it is believed this is the reason why Wannacry was released. 2 North Koreans were indicted, one being Park Jin-hyuk, as he had been involved in the Sony Pictures hack in 2014. However, no arrests have been made and no convictions to this day. It is believed that Wannacry has cost $4 billion to date. MyDoom is arguably the worst virus outbreak in cybercrime history. Discovered in January 2004 with subsequent re-releases, making it one of the most difficult worms to manage that is still around to date, and responsible for 1% of all infected emails that are sent daily, used for a proportion of phishing campaigns. The virus originated in Russia and first started spreading via Clez, the downloading platform. Being tagged onto an infected file, people would then download that file and their system would become infected. Then once the worm is on the system, it would then scrape the computer for email addresses and spread via a poorly worded email similar to Melissa, I love you, and SoBig, containing the message, Andy, I'm just doing my job. It's nothing personal, I'm sorry. However, Andy is often substituted for a list of other names. Once a computer was infected with MyDoom, they would become part of a botnet that would launch a DDoS attack on certain systems. The first variant, MyDoom A, would launch an attack on SCO.com. Shortly after the release of MyDoom A, the B variant followed. This was programmed to launch a DDoS attack on Microsoft. However, this wasn't as successful as the previous attempt, which managed to take SCO offline for several hours. MyDoom also managed to successfully take down Google search engine for a large portion of the workday. In February of the same year, Doom Juice, another worm variant, began spreading via backdoors left open by MyDoom. Both variants were programmed to stop spreading by March. By September, U, V, W, and X appear, sparking worries a stronger version was on its way. In 2005, MyDoom AO appeared, and in 2009, MyDoom resurfaces after the South Korea and the USA during the 2009 cyber attacks. During infection periods, MyDoom would purposely avoid certain email addresses, strings, usernames, and code words to remain undetected and spread easily. SCO, Google, and Microsoft have all offered a bounty of $250,000 for information leading to the arrest of the creator of MyDoom. However, to this day, the creator is unknown. To date, MyDoom has created $38.5 billion in damages in its release year of 2004 alone, making it the most dangerous and prolific computer virus to date, surpassing I Love You for its capability to spread rapidly, holding the title of the fastest spreading computer virus we have ever seen. So Insomniacs, that's all for today. If you enjoyed this subject, please consider leaving the video a like and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. If you'd like another video like this one, or for me to cover any of these topics in a full-length video, please let me know down below in the comments. Feel free to leave a comment if you feel there is an area where I could improve, or even if you feel like making a suggestion for a topic for me to cover. As always, thank you for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. I love you all, and good night. Sleep tight, and I hope you avoid the sleep paralysis demon tonight.